warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today our group is going to present a study case related to cellular respiration. My name is Shazza Tasnim.
My name is Akila Husna. My name is Intan Safia.
My name is Nur Anis Fitrisha.
So let's proceed. This study case is about the detrimental effect of cyanide to humans' cellular respiration. Now, let's have a look at the case summary. In September 1982, a 12-year-old girl died after her parents gave her a painkiller to relieve her sore throat. She was found collapsed at 7 a.m. in the bathroom before pronounced dead. Another case in Chicago, a postal worker died unexpectedly, and the days that followed, 3 more unexplained deaths occurred nearby Chicago suburbs. After detailed investigations, they have found that all the victims had taken extra-strength Tylenol hours before their death, and they also showed the same symptoms.
The first question is, if the 7 deaths connected, what additional information do you need to determine if they are connected? Firstly, each person experienced the same symptoms with the death. Next, we should also ask the family whether or not each individual had Tylenol, and ask them how much and how long it took for the victim's condition to deteriorate. We should also assume all of the victims or family members of the victims went to the same pharmacy to buy the Tylenol, and acknowledge that all the victims lived in the same neighborhood. Lastly, we would need receipts from the pharmacy as a proof.
Moving on to the next question. If poison is suspected in the death, how would you proceed with the investigation? So, if I am the respective person to be in charge in this case study, I will send the victim's blood to the forensics so that it can undergo unknown poisons and toxin analysis. This is because the analysis can screens and identifies the presence of more than 1,000 chemicals, poisons, and toxic substances. However, this analysis doesn't include drugs, heavy metals, and can be only done by using the victim's blood, urine, or hair samples. Also, in addition, test results are typically available within 10 business days after your specimen is collected.
Question number 3. What function of the cell was interrupted in this patient? Firstly, cellular respiration was interrupted and could not be completed. This is because the production of ATP from cellular respiration was inhibited. Therefore, the cell cannot maintain homeostasis, and in turn it kills the cell.
Moving on to the fourth question. The question is, why poison is the main suspect in this case? What are the other ways a person could die of hypoxia? So, hypoxia refers to a state in which oxygen supply is insufficient in a body or region of a body. So, in this case, hypoxia may be classified as either generalized, affecting the whole body. So there are 4 other ways a person could die of hypoxia, which is insufficient oxygen in the body, which is firstly is lung diseases, such as bronchitis and edema. Bronchitis infection occurs because the main area of our lungs, or called as bronchi, is infected, and it causing them to become irritated and inflamed. Secondly is edema. Pulmonary edema occurs when the alveoli fill up with excess fluid seep out of the blood vessels in lung instead of air. So this can cause problems with the exchange of gas that happens in our alveoli, which is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and at last it will resulting in breathing difficulty and poor oxygenation of blood. Secondly is strong pain medicines such as morphine, tramadol, and codeine. This is because oxygen concentration in our body affects the metabolism and the toxicity of various drugs. And the third one is heart problems. Heart problems can cause disturbance in circulation. Therefore, it will decreases the oxygen delivery to the other cells, leading to tissue hypoxia, which takes place in several cardiovascular disorders, including atherosclerosis, pulmonary arterial hypertension, and heart failure. And lastly is having anemia. In the setting of anemia, low hemoglobin levels result in a reduced ability of the blood to carry oxygen that is breathed in, and hence a diminished supply of oxygen available to the tissues. The next question is, evaluate the oxygen level in victim's blood. Is it high or low? And how can you prove this observation with the cause of death being hypoxia? So, firstly, the oxygen level in victim blood were higher than normal rate, which is 110 mm per Hg. And this proved that death by hypoxia can caused by cyanide poisoning that will resulting in mitochondrial damage. Therefore, the cell cannot use the oxygen for cellular respiration that was given to the cell itself, and it will causing the oxygen level in the blood is higher than normal because it is not being used. Hence, the cell dies from hypoxia because they didn't use the oxygen given and will suffocate because of shortened breathing.
Question number 6. Why mitochondria is called as the powerhouse? This is because mitochondria is responsible to generate energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, or known as ATP, through cellular information. Mitochondria are tiny organelles inside cells that are involved in releasing energy from food. When the breakdown products from the digestion of food find their way into the cell, a series of chemical reactions occur in the cytoplasm. This allows some of the energy to lock up in this product to be released and incorporated into the universal energy supplier in cells known as ATP. As highly folded surfaces in the mitochondria, or known as the cristae, gives the inner mitochondrial membrane a large surface area that thus enhancing the productivity of cellular respiration, which is the production of carbon dioxide, energy, and water.
Next is question 7. This is the model of phospholipid bilayer, which is colored in blue. The one that is highlighted in yellow is the electron transport chain. The one that has an X is the protein that was inhibited by the cyanide. And the one that is red in color is a special protein that is called the ATP synthase, which generates ATP.
Next, question 8. What is the relationship between the ETC and also oxygen? So the electron transport chain, depending on the oxygen plays an important role in the ETC, whereby it completed the process and ensures the process to occur continuously. For instance, when there is no oxygen present, so there is the ETC cannot run because there is no oxygen that act as the final electron acceptor. So this means that the ETC will not be accepting electrons from NADH as its source of power, so NAD+ will not be regenerated. As we all know, both glycolysis and also citric acid cycle require NAD+ to accept electrons during their chemical reactions. So in order for the cell to continue to generate any ATP, NADH must be converted back to NAD+ for use as an electron carrier. Question 9 is about why cyanide is so fast acting. So cyanide is famously fast acting poison due to its ability to induce extreme chemical suffocation of cells and to disrupt enzymatic processes. So cyanide's main effect is that it inhibits oxidative phosphorylation, or ETC. It is a process where oxygen is utilized for a production of cellular energy in the form of ATP. So, how this cyanide works or disrupts or inhibits the ETC is it will bind to the enzyme cytochrome C oxidase and it blocks the mitochondrial transport chain. So the ETC process will be disrupted and ETC cannot be occur. So it will lead to depletion of ATP, and consequently the metabolic acidosis also will occur and can cause cellular hypoxia. Is a type of disease, one of the type of disease that caused due to the depletion of ATP. So the cells or the tissues cannot utilize the oxygen, does not get enough oxygen, and will followed by the impairment of the vital functions.
Next is question number 10. The most effective way should be using antidote such as hydroxycobalamin. Oxygen can improve the administration of hydroxycobalamin. Using oxygen should be ineffective because cyanide produces a histotoxic anoxia in which tissues are incapable of utilizing oxygen. However, an experiment is conducted where a rat is given potassium cyanide, and it is shown that slightly more cyanide was required to induce brain lesions if oxygen was administered than if the experiment is conducted in air. Another experiments were done to a rabbit, cats, guinea pig, and dogs. Those experiments also indicated that oxygen under high pressure or tension can prolong the survival of those animals. Therefore, oxygen can be used in the therapy of cyanide poisoning but as the first aid only, and this treatment of using oxygen high in pressure is called the hyperbaric oxygen treatment. In conclusion, this case has shown that the cause of death of all the 7 victims is the cyanide poisoning, which the cyanide is found inserted in their painkillers that they took hours before their death. So that's all from us. Thank you.